Good morning and good Shabbos. Um, so we continue our journey through the tree of life, the different qualities of the Sfirot, as we count the Omer between Passover and Shavuos. And now we are in the fourth week. We've gone through the week of Chesed, the week of Gevura, the week of Tiferet. We finished yesterday. Today we start the week of Netzach. And Netzach can be understood as endurance. It's a quality of time. It has an association with victory. And I like to think of it as perseverance, never giving up. And here today we have, as every Friday this year, beginning the week with the quality of Chesed within Netzach. So loving kindness within the quality of endurance. And I want to take the combination of these two qualities to talk about our practice of focusing on the breath and where that comes from. So you may already know that this movement of Jewish mindfulness meditation is a relatively new approach within Judaism. People in many of the people in my generation, those of us who are in our 70s now and some in their 80s, were seekers and not finding a path towards spiritual connection. And some wandered east and discovered a missing piece, a piece that kind of was a missing link for our Jewish practice. If you read the Tanya, which is one of the main principal works of the Alter Rebbe of Chabad, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi, if you read the Tanya and you are experienced in meditating, as I am, having been introduced to meditation by a wave of teachers that came over from the East, you know that a lot of the things he's referring to are familiar to the experience of meditation, but not so as a lived experience to others not experienced in that. And as I learned Tanya with my local wonderful Chabad rabbi, we discussed this, that I have certain experiences that draw me to the Tanya that are different from his experiences. And he has expressed that he didn't have the tools to access some of the understandings of the Alter Rebbe. So there's been a Buddhist influence in this Jewish mindfulness that you may be aware of, and that has to do with our main practice, which is the simple practice, focusing on the breath, going in and out. And it comes from a very simple but profound sutta, which is a teaching from the Buddha, which is called Anapanasati Sutta. So Anapana is breathing in and out. Anapana, just breathing in and out. And Sati is awareness. It almost has a similar root to sage, to wisdom. Anapanasati Sutta. So, and Thich Nhat Hanh, who's a very beloved Buddhist teacher who's spent a lot of time in the West, translates it that I have, as I've learned from my teacher Brian Arnell, to 4 sentences. I'm not going to get that right, but let me see what I can remember. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Just those 2 sentences is how we started. So breathing in, like we do, we are aware of the breath coming in. And wherever it goes, wherever it meets us, it could meet us in the nostrils, could meet us in the throat, could meet us, our awareness can meet the breath in these different areas. In the chest, the expansion of the lungs, maybe the expansion of the belly, as the air comes in. It's just mechanics of breathing. But with the awareness of that, and then breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Or so, same thing again, coming back from the belly, from the lungs, through the throat, through the nostrils, wherever the breath, the consciousness lands. That's where we focus. And it could be the entire breath going all the way in and the entire breath going all the way out. You know, a breath is an in and out process. Anapana, that's what breathing is. So the Anapanasati Sutta sounds very exotic, and it's just so simple. However, the key is the sati, the knowing of it, the knowing of the coming in and out of the experience. And we could translate that to knowing anything in our experience throughout the day. But when we're sitting, it can be very effective to focus on the breath because it's always here. It's quiet. It's life, the source of life. In the Jewish practice, you know, we judge this person's aliveness from breathing. It's not the heart; it's from the breath. Is he still breathing? That's why it was so painful to watch George Floyd's death and his not being able to breathe. Broadcast all over from that one cell phone video. So we have access to the breath. We are alive, and with gratitude. So we bring loving awareness. That's the Chesed. We bring loving awareness to this breath that's coming in and out constantly, like Netzchach. It's constantly going in and out. It never stops. It endures. As long as we endure, our breath endures. So I hope that will help today in today's meditation just to rest in the breath. And I've found that focusing on this awareness can lead to a deep experience. Of being connected with the source of life. So, with that, I will time us for our 30 minutes of silence. Those of you who have tuned in after the recording is posted, you can press the pause button after the 3 bells for however long you choose to sit, and I'll bring us back with another bell. Welcome back. I want to clear up a couple of things, at least one. I have no idea how the Alter Rebbe meditated, achieved his closeness to the source. He's considered a tzaddik, even though he puts himself in a different category in the Tanya. That's for another time. It's not. He puts himself as a Beinani, which is an in-betweener, not always a tzaddik, like going back and forth. Or that's how he describes himself, although his followers regard him as a pure tzaddik. Anyway, that's the Alter Rebbe, since I had mentioned him. I think that was the main thing I wanted to clear up. And I wanted to give a little perspective on this, on the influences of the Buddhist technique within the Jewish, I want to say Jewish renewal movement, but just Judaism today is accessing that. So those of you who attend my synagogue, Beth Shalom, know that I offer an in-person meditation every Shabbat morning during the Musaf service, which is called the additional service. It comes from the additional sacrifice on Shabbat, which is after the Torah reading from the Torah and the rabbi's talk. And my husband receives the monthly bulletin from Temple Emunah in Lexington, Massachusetts, because that's the temple where he grew up. And they also have a meditation during Musaf. We didn't coordinate that. It just happens to be, I think they're cropping up in different places, this Musaf meditation, because that happens to be a time in the service where most people are already there. It's right before the Kiddush, which is the gathering, the social gathering with food and blessings. And it just happens to be a part of the flow, working well with the rest of the service. So things change and influences enrich our tradition, and this influence is not a foreign element. It's just an aid to becoming more, having a deeper understanding of our own texts, our own traditions. And I love it when we can learn from each other. So I want to bless you to go deeper with this practice, and may it deepen your experience of living and closeness to the source, the all-knowing. Was reading Rami Shapiro's translation of the Tanya, and he refers to God as the knower, the known, and the knowing. So God knows, and God is what is being known, and God is the action of knowing. And when we have practiced this awareness of in and out breathing, we're imitating that process, because the breathing is being known. So the breathing is in us. We are being known. And we are knowing it. We are observing it. And in the process, there is knowing going on. And in this case, on Chesed within Netzach, it's a loving awareness of the enduring quality. Shabbat Shalom. Until next time. Thank you for joining me.